Everyone, welcome to a special edition of Independent Artists Unite Song Series. I am welcoming today Andy from Burnt Log from Scotland. And we
Hello.
hello. And we have a song out called Home that we collaborated on, and we thought it would be cool to talk about it because it was an interesting creative process. Um, um, and yeah, I don't know who should start with this. Should I start with the general idea?
Well, I would say you should start because you contacted me.
Yeah,
You sent me your idea, which I thought was very good. It's a shame that we couldn't keep that part. But if you want to describe how that started and where you're coming
yeah.
from.
This was one of these. I wrote a number of songs in a short period where, as we were talking before I hit record, I've gone through this split up with the mother of my children, and I was in another location. I happened to be. It was like, under the best circumstances, really. She was in the apartment with the kids still, and I happened to be um, uh, house sitting with this like glorious house on the beach that had like a hot tub and a gym and so and I would
It's where
go
you
through
should
these.
be, I think.
That's where
That's
I
your
should
natural
be. That's where I
habitat.
should be. I've yeah. So I was kind of living out my lonely rock star dreams out there and feeling depressed, and of course taking bubble baths or Epsom salt baths, and I'm doing these hot and cold treatments, going out in the snow, and getting chilled, coming in, getting real hot again, and so I'm getting in this weird mental state. And then I had this idea to write because I was, of course, not in my home anymore, and so I was reflecting on what as depressed people will do in a situation like that, reflecting on what home really is. Um, is it this physical space? Is it the love, that I still have for my children, they still have for me? Is it a feeling? Is it, what is it? So I just kind of came up with this droning. Of course, the word home lends itself to this, oh, drone kind of thing. So I came up with this like kind of, I guess it would almost be like almost like yeah, droning, a droning thing. What music am I thinking of? That's like my brain's not working. That kind of spacious music that starts with an A. That's like
It starts with an A,
no vocals.
ambient music. Yes,
Ambient,
ambient.
ambient,
Of
yeah.
course, of course.
I didn't have that word. I almost
Yeah,
think of it as like an ambient idea with synths and
yeah.
stuff, atmospheric synths, and this droning idea of home, and like very kind of uh like I'm very apt to go into like a metaphysical, kind of idea of things, and of like what is home like to my soul, or to this, this soul that
Sure.
I am, rather than this person in the physical world. And then I thought, actually, part of what I was doing in the bathtub as well was listening to some of your more melancholy music, which I really love. Because I'm a huge fan of yours, sir. First of all, I should say that's why I would even think of approaching you, actually, which was difficult because I am a huge fan of yours and I really love what you do. And I love the particular melancholy that you find. And I don't know how to describe it, but it's like it has an intelligence to it, but it has like a feeling of like familiarity, I mean, you're not quite sure. It's poetic, you're not quite sure, what am I feeling? Is it his childhood? Is it my childhood? Is it all these feelings, nostalgic, kind of
Yeah.
feeling. And you do that so well. And I thought, I tried to, I had to like build up the courage. Hey, send this to him and see what he thinks.
Oh,
And
I
and,
was
and
very flattered. Thank you
yeah,
very much for
yeah. So you
considering.
you take it from there, because then I plop this thing in your lap, and then what
Yeah.
what what were you thinking when that plopped in your lap?
Well, when I was that used to your music being kind of electronic music with a lot of synths and stuff like that,
Mm,
and a sort of gothy type of feel to it. So when he sent me over this thing, it wasn't what I would have thought as homely sounding. It sounded like you said, like a droney type of thing with some
mm.
sort of backwards things going on. There's my dog coming to say hello.
Oh, good.
My daughter's coming to take him out. See you later, guys. Yeah, so I thought I was quite surprised by it. It wasn't as immediate as I thought. It was very, very slow as well, I thought.
Mm,
And but it was good. It had a great power to it because you'd used this kind of distorted bass synth thing that was
mm.
drone through it. You had your big how do I describe your vocals? The stentorian, is that a proper word? Am I using the right word? That sort of like big
Oh,
noise that
yeah,
you can't,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like a brontosaurus or something like that, like a big
Mm, mm,
dinosaur.
yeah.
Um, and you had a sort of a backwards loop thing going on it as well.
Hmm.
And you were just building and building it, and it was looping and looping up, and it was very powerful. But I just could not imagine how I was going to put something else on it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, it was so what I did, and as you'll remember, I thought let's try and throw everything at this thing and try and really impress you. I thought you'd come to me because you could maybe see some kind of inventiveness or something, some creativity in me that you wanted to utilize for your song. So I thought I'm going to really try my best to impress the hell
Mhm.
out of Scott there. And I totally went in a really bizarre direction. I put it all together and I sent it across to you. And I remember I was really pleased with myself actually. And your first reaction was I think you were taken aback by it. You didn't really understand the two parts and how they would fit together.
Mm.
And I could see that after I was obviously quite wounded. I was I was really hurt. And then I got over myself and I was like, okay, that's fine. So I went back and had a look at it, and I think your advice was to make it join together. I should cover one of your songs. I should do a song like I was doing a cover version, like the two parts joined together. And you mentioned Queen and David Bowie, for example,
Oh, yeah,
Wonderful,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
because that was two completely different styles, two different artists with different styles, and they made a song together, and it somehow works.
Mm.
That was good advice. So I went back to my bits. Well, you asked me to cover your bit in my style, so that's what I did. I changed your bit
Yeah.
to slightly more like my bits would be, and I introduced because I've never really heard you with guitars and drums and bass and all the traditional instruments. I know you used to do that back in the
Yeah, yeah.
day. I haven't actually heard any of that. I only know you as a synth artist. So I thought I'd like to hear Scott singing to a sort of a rock song. So I took your bit and I made it into a rock song. I kept your bass idea, but then there was the changeover point, and the initial changeover point that I did that I was really proud of. I had to take that out and I chucked it away. I'm going to use it for something else, but I removed it because it was too much of a left turn to take the two bits together. So then there's a drop down bit, and then there's the sort of my bit. But I was finding your stuff was so slow that I couldn't get it going. So what I
Oh,
decided
yeah.
to do was speed up the tempo, which was an idea I remember you think it was quite exciting because you hadn't done that in GarageBand or anything before. So
Mm.
we speeded the tempo up. So towards the end, it was going at a speed that I was much more comfortable with because
Mm.
it just when my bit was going far too slow when it was at your tempo. What do you think? How do you think the bits joined together? Can you
Well,
remember when I first sent you that bit and it was a bit weird and you
yeah,
were
yeah,
thrown?
yeah. It was, yeah, I felt like it was like, it sounded, but it may have been a bit of demoitis, but it felt like my thing was plopped into the middle of an idea that you had. So
Ah,
I was,
I was trying to respect your thing. I didn't want to change your
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
you see,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
couldn't wait
yeah.
to.
But I was, yeah, I'm not. I like. I think I don't have that so much. I'm like, I'm always like interested. Oh, what? But I know a lot of people have that. Like, oh, yeah, I appreciate you like trying to preserve what I had. But I was like, yeah, maybe I didn't describe it in a way because I did like the things that you did, but I just couldn't. I didn't feel like it was joining together because it just sounded like my thing in the middle. So that's why I was like, oh, you don't have to like keep my thing like that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't realize that there was a part that you didn't end up using then because I haven't. It's been I hadn't heard that initial thing that you sent. I should have gone back and listened to that today. So there was a whole part that you haven't that you
Yeah,
just
there was a
didn't
part
use.
that when you, as soon as your bit ended and you did that really high note,
Yeah.
I came in straight away with my bit and I was doing my best boy impersonation. I was really pleased with that bit. But I think that was the bit you probably found the most jarring. So I thought I'll take that
Oh,
away and
really?
we'll just go on to the
Jeez, I
next
don't even
part.
remember that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it works without it. But I think it would have been good with it. It would have been exciting. It would have been something,
Yeah. Yeah.
as you know, as you've listened to my stuff, I do like lots of different bits. I like
Yeah.
to keep adding in more and more bits. So maybe to a fault, maybe I should keep a more of a song structure that just repeats choruses and stuff like that. But I just like to try and be seen as quite clever and inventive, you know, a bit showing off, like, oh, I could do that, and then we could have this, and just take it all these different places. And I think we have taken this a lot of different places because it is pretty long. And I think the algorithms hate it. Like, and I don't know how we're going to pitch it to playlists curators because I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is either, but I feel like I'm really focusing on this one which I always talk myself through this, but I really believe it with this one that this is already a success, that we saw this through and that we because along the ways, if we like uh I didn't well, I should say I apologize if I felt like I took the wind out of your sails or something.
No, no, no. I was only
I
joking. I'm
wasn't
joking.
I didn't I wasn't feeling that so much as like it was like we're not there yet kind of feeling. So this merits more investigation. Kind of was where my perception.
Yeah,
But I think because of like us coming here and you know that collision and also yeah the different parts that you do, which I was also I love that about your music. I think it really benefited it from that, this idea, you know, because then it lends this like idea to the different what home can mean to different people, you know,
yeah,
which we kind of addressed. Um, it got addressed lyrically and it got addressed musically because it, you know, the music keeps changing as well. So it's like
yeah.
over which you're singing ideas about home, you know. So I think that was really cool. And so it's like, and because it's like, you know, it's sometimes you get like I think I can really be like a fan of this song, you know what I mean? Because I almost feel even though it was like my idea initially, you know, like hey, what about something like this? It like is so different that I, you know, that I almost feel like I can appreciate it as someone that's, you know, had nothing to do with it, you know what I mean? Which I always love
Yeah, yeah.
if I could be tricked in that way. But talk about
That was,
your how you addressed it lyrically because I thought that was really cool when I heard
yeah.
your lyrics.
I was thinking because your lyrics sounded like it was you were talking about what it feels like to have a home and stuff, and that's to use that phrase that I've used, home is where the heart is. It's like this homely place and everyone cherishes in a way. But then I was getting to thinking that is not really the case for everyone. It is the case for me. I mean, I've got a fantastic home, loving family. It's great, lovely dog. Unfortunately, not the case for you so much anymore. But I think I wanted to kind of highlight people who currently around the world, maybe their home is in ruins right now because of some conflict that's going on. Or I remember watching a documentary some years ago, and it was about, I think Stephen Wilson did an album about this as well, a concept album. And it was about somebody in London who lived in a flat and had a lot of friends and stuff, but she had actually passed away in her flat and was only discovered like 3 years later or something. Because nobody, just because of the way a big city operates, people didn't come around to check on her and stuff like that. And it was a bit of a mystery what happened to her, but it was just so sad that she sort of just perished there without anyone noticing. So that jumped into my head, and I was thinking about sitting fused to your chair and stuff like that, you know, just being stuck, nobody actually coming around, that kind of home. So I thought it was just, I like to do the opposite of I always like to put something a little bit dark across something, I kind of spoil it. You've got this nice homely outlook to begin with, where you've painted this picture, and then I'm coming steaming in and I'm just wrecking it with my stuff in a way.
Is that you Lennon my McCartney?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think yours was actually fully a McCartney. I mean, now you've described to me exactly what it is about. I mean, yours is probably kind of dark too, but didn't really understand that at the time. So it's kind of, we're both Lennon on this one, really, but in slightly different ways, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have the lyrics that you wrote? Do you have them there by any
I
chance?
don't.
Okay.
Let me see. No, I'll not be able to find them quickly enough. Yeah, I
No,
forget
okay.
you do that on the show. You're supposed to have the lyrics up, right?
We'll put it. Yeah. Well, we'll put. I think when we put it up on Bandcamp, we should. We'll have the lyrics on there, because I think it'd be cool to have all the lyrics on there. But yeah, do you usually put your lyrics when you put it on Bandcamp?
I do, yeah. When I remember, I put them on there, yeah. Just because it's sort of, I'm quite pleased with them, so yeah, why not? Your advice too, anyway, just in case anyone's interested.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll be excited to read them there. So when this show comes out, people can go and read the lyrics in Bandcamp. So that's cool. Yeah, it's go ahead.
That's the T-shirt I was talking about last time. I prefer the early stuff. I got it out of the wash this time because I remember it was coming on. I thought, you know what would be really funny if I was to like wear a sleeveless waistcoat and no shirt and a pair of shades on or something and put a fake Mohican on and turn up like that. But I thought I couldn't get that together in time, but I remember this. So.
Yeah, I cut that off.
Yeah, it's gone. That's weird. You look great though.
Yeah, I just bleached it too. So now I got the bleached crew cut. I don't really know what I'm doing, but yeah, I'm having various crises that one has. But
sorry, everyone, you've got sad Scott today. Must be because I'm on.
No, but it's interesting. Yeah, as we said beforehand, I was like, oh, geez, should I cancel this today? Because I don't know what I'm even feeling. But this is an interesting thing for me. I don't know if this is like, I think it's part of the human condition. It's just like, but I'm really like this. If I start feeling something emotional or negative, my first thing is like, I got to distract myself in some way. Or maybe that's the being an alcoholic and addict, of course, if I was ever like bummed out, that didn't last long, because, between cocaine and heroin, you got it covered, just find I'm finding the balance. I'm almost there.
Use what you're going through right now to write some great material out of this, I mean,
I
can't write that kind of material because nothing happens to me. I have to like read about things and watch documentaries like I explained on my Instagram. But I mean, you've got real stuff happening in your life and you could write about this and you could have a whole album out of this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the next album I've already said is that Pain is a Gift. That's the oh no, it's The Gift of Pain. The Gift of Pain. Yeah, that's going to be the next album. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But I have so many songs. Well, the album's coming out July 26th.
July 26th. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Excited. So
It's
is
like
that going to have all your
a
singles on it that you've been releasing recently?
yeah, it's gonna have the singles and 3 new songs.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought
Are
that was
these three epic songs that you couldn't release as a single? Are they like long form, or are they banjo related, or are they something that doesn't sound anything like what you normally do that you couldn't do
um
as a single? Or do you think you could put them out as a single?
it could have been singles. Yeah. I don't everything kind of comes out that way. I think maybe this next album will be a little more of a stretch, have some weirder things on it.
Mhm.
Um yeah,
So do you find that you record a song and you get so excited about it, you've got to put it straight out as a single, or
yeah.
do you sit on them for a while?
That's what happens.
That's
Or
what I do
a lot
too.
of time I'm sending it to James K Ultra, who mixed this song as well. I think as he is becomes really my producer, that so I'm sending him demos, and so a lot of times I'll have sent him a demo and we're talking about what to do with it, but then more songs will be coming and I was like, maybe this is better, and then he's like, oh yeah, this is the next one. So
Yeah,
there's like a queue develops like that.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. So have you got any more collaborations coming up?
Um, well, I actually did a collaboration with the Stave Church. I don't know if you listen to him at all.
Don't
Uh,
think of it
More
now.
gothic kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
And yeah, we covered Peter Murphy's "My Last 2 Weeks." I don't know if you know that song.
No, I'm not
No,
familiar with
Peter
that.
Murphy was
I've
the
got several Bauhaus albums behind me here, but I mean,
oh yeah, Bauhaus. Yeah. So this was from his was from his second solo album.
right.
And it was a song that I always loved. And actually, Bruce from the Stave Church was also going through a split up, and I was going through a split up, and so I just reached out to him and said, "Hey, let's do something," And it's this really, kind of depressing song called "My Last 2 Weeks."
I'm sure your fans would
We
have
haven't
loved
figured out
that.
what to do with that. But have you done cover songs? Because I don't know what the whole legalities and everything. I hear different things from different people.
I haven't done any cover songs, no, but I did notice I use DistroKid as a distributor, and they sent some special offer email out, and it was something like
Yeah.
get your cover done for £13 or something like that. It was like they do the licensing part, they take care of that, but you have to pay them if it's a cover, you pay them a bit extra,
Yeah,
something like
yeah, yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I've
I
never
thought.
done
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think they do cover that. Yeah, so maybe I'll put that out. We'll see what that's all about. Yeah, yeah. Um, but did you know what? With our song, another interesting thing is I got involved in doing other things, and I hadn't listened to it for a long time. I don't know if that happened with you too, but and James didn't either, and so we actually both listened to it um recently again, and we were both just like, this is awesome. That was our only reaction, and so I really love this song. I mean, how did you go a time without listening to it, or what, did you listen
I
to it
did,
from time?
yeah. I listened to it quite a lot after we'd made it,
Yeah,
and then I didn't listen to it for quite a while until we were doing some videos we were making for the promo for this, and
yeah, yeah,
I've listened to bits of it, putting it against video, and I thought, that really works quite well. I was really pleased uh,
yeah.
with it's come out. But I mean, it definitely. I mean, I still don't know how to describe it. It's a very strange song. It's
It
got
really is. It almost seems like it's like progressive rock to me or something. Because
yes, I think so. Yeah.
all the different parts. It reminds me of like a Yes song or something that I really love that had these.
What I have been enjoying actually is just in the run up to that coming out is sort of jumping on your bandwagon of collaborating with an artist, because you're the first artist I've collaborated with, and you've got obviously a bigger fan base than I have. So to get all these likes and stuff coming in, I'm getting like a lot more attention than I ever did
Oh,
before.
is that
So
right? Oh, I
collaborate with
didn't
this
know.
guy, folks,
Oh,
because it's
wonderful.
good. He's got actual fans, so it's nice. And a lot of them are coming from a goth type background, so it's quite fascinating. So I'm interested to see. This might be the first time I actually managed to land on all these synthwave and goth playlists that you guys seem to be on all the time. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
interested
okay.
to see what
Yeah, we'll
happens with
see.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
it's interesting
okay.
because it's yeah, I really don't know what it is, but yeah, when I looked at it through that lens, of some of the like the video idea, which I won't spoil because it probably won't come out the day this comes out, but maybe a little later, but I thought it really lends some dramatic weight to whatever visuals you put on, right? So
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
thought, wow, that's got to be a good sign.
Yeah. It's just a shame that I only use royalty-free images of videos and stuff. It's just the same folk all the time I use in all the different videos. So you just keep recognizing the same guys turning up. I think a lot of other independent artists use them as well.
Oh,
So
is
it'd
that
be great
right?
to make a
Okay.
new video one day.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Did you make
Oh,
videos back in the day with your bands? Did you ever make an actual proper video?
oh, yeah, yeah. I'll have to send you. I'll send
I
you a
like to
link.
have a look at some of that.
I'll send a YouTube link. Yeah, because yeah, this is something that's you will probably find entertaining. I put little clips up on Instagram. Yeah, but
Uh,
that was yeah, back in '97.
yeah, I
I
was
had
going to ask because you've done so much stuff over the years, but yet on Spotify and that there's only your recent output. Where's the rest of it? Where can we see all and hear all these old
uh
songs?
no, well, the album we put out in '97 is on Spotify actually.
Is it? What's the
Yeah,
name of your band?
it's called Sexus, Sexus.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to look them up. Is that kind of glam goth type guitar music?
Well, I think it probably I think we had some problems in that area because we also had liked a lot of this like different sections and stuff like that, which became a bit intricate. But I think in general we definitely looked goth glam kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the music was more of like it could almost sound like a jam band sometime or something like that. I don't know. I'd be curious to hear what you think because I you know it's tough to know what you're doing. If I could go back in time, I would be like, simplify this, motherfuckers. Let people know what I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, attention. These are some of the last record deals that are going to be offered to bands. Okay. It's all going to end.
Yeah.
So I need you guys to focus. Simplify it. Let's know what you guys are and don't be mysterious about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we didn't have someone giving us that message, so we kind of
Cool.
floundered in that uncertainty. And also, of course, I was a horrible drug addict, so we had some opportunities. We went out to Hollywood and had some opportunities to do some things, but
Yeah.
I was deemed too difficult to work with.
Just self-destructed.
Yeah, that
Your
was
own worst enemy.
that's the official the official statement. Too difficult to work with. Um,
Cool.
and well, maybe with the last 5 minutes, we should just say that. Well, I should say I really enjoyed this process of working with you. Um, I think I'm probably a bigger fan of yours now, just seeing what you did with this and the immense creativity that you have. I really think you are like super creative. Um,
Oh, thank you.
and that's led to you actually sent me something
Yeah,
last week. So
I did.
you want more.
Yes,
You want a piece of me.
it's your voice. I want your voice. I can just hear your voice on top of so much music because big Bowie fan, obviously. So it's a dream to work with something like that. It just elevates the music to another dimension, I think. So
Oh, that's right. We
I
didn't
find this
really
piece
talk
of
about
music,
that, but yeah, it was maybe it's this Bowie-ness, that
yeah.
brought this together, or that you certainly that you like about me, and certainly that I have that, because obviously it's a huge influence. I can't hide from that.
It's this thing we're working on right now. I mean, it's sounding great, and I think it's a lot more succinct than the other one. We've certainly cut to the chase pretty quickly. Structure-wise, you helped me with that because I just had a bit. I came up with about another 6 or 7 bits, and you cut it up and put it in the right order, and it works like a
Yeah, yeah,
proper
yeah.
pop song now, I would say. And what you've done over the top of it, it's added another dimension. So it's going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I feel very honored that you would reach out to me, because I thought after the last collaboration, I thought if maybe I was too much trouble for the sport. So
I would say that
I feel
that was a
healed,
hell of a lot of work that I had to put into this song, this one we've just coming out. I
yeah.
mean, you sent me the stuff over, and then I felt like I was like working on that for weeks and weeks. It
Yeah,
was
you
just
put a lot. Yeah, we should say that.
a
You put a
slave
lot
to
of
it.
blood, sweat, and tears in there. Yeah, there was a lot of burnt log labor. You burned a lot of logs along the way. And
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
And thank you, because I think, I mean, it's easy for me to say it was worth it, because I really love it. And it's really just like this standalone piece. And
sure.
yeah, so I'm excited to see what people think of it, but I feel honored and grateful to have been through this process with you. And I have to say, it's very healing for me for you to reach out and say, hey, let's do something else. I'm like, whew, okay.
Oh, no
Because these
problem. I was coming away the first time. I thought, man, that was so much work. But then I'm never doing that again. But I think just when you think of your voice, it needs to be shown off to its best I can possibly do. And it's just I heard this thing and I thought that's for Scott definitely. So
Yeah,
I'm very pleased that you've agreed to do that as well.
yeah, I'm excited about this. But yeah, thank you for going through this process. And because it's not easy. It's like too, it's not just the kind of practicalities of it, but it's like opening yourself up as a creative person to someone else, and especially to people like us, where we're used to being on our own. and
Yeah.
uh and maybe we've had other experiences that have led us to this aloneness, probably. So it's like to open yourself up and see what happens. It takes some courage. So good on both of us.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
thank you so much for this today. I'm going to get cut off in a minute from Zoom, so we got to wrap up. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? No, not that I can think of. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing what people think. I think it's going to be interesting, especially what all your fans think, because I'll get to see what they think, and I'll get to bask in the same glory you
Yeah.
get to.
Well, I am too, but I told you I sent it to Renee. We'll already have had the premiere by now, from Nocturne Zine. It was
Yeah,
real goth, dark music, and he loved it. He was like, "Wow,
yeah,
totally unexpected. I did not
yeah.
expect this at all, and I really love it." So hopefully
Brilliant.
that's a cue.
I think goth's changed in a way because I don't think what you sound very goth to me, and I don't think James does either. I think it's
Oh,
just it's a
yes,
kind of
yes.
a different version of goth now. I think where more people are invited.
Yeah, more
So
people are invited. Yeah, why not? Well, thanks for inviting me, and
okay,
talk to you soon.
talk to you soon. Cheers, Scott. Bye.